Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. 1 month later in Uttar Pradesh's Ferozabad, children are still dying of dengue and viral fever. 3 more children die today and NDTV crew witnesses this unspeakable tragedy. Carrying children on their shoulders, parents come from kilometers away are turned back because there are no beds. Meanwhile, Abba Jaan politics is dominating the run-up to the campaign. India crosses the 75 crore vaccination milestone. The government says all states should now aim for 100%. The WHO congratulates India for vaccine acceleration. Centre to the Supreme Court says we won't file an affidavit on the Pegasus hacking scandal. Centre's U-turn on the affidavit after asking for 2 hearings. Now it's become a national security issue. The Chief Justice says don't beat about the bush. The issue is of right to privacy, which is also key. We won't hamper national security. The centre says we don't want terrorists to know the software used. From first-time MLA to new Gujarat Chief Minister, Home Minister and BJP Chief Ministers attend the swearing-in of the new Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel. I was offered money to join the BJP, but I didn't take it, says a BJP ex-minister today. An explosive statement by the current BJP Karnataka MLA. Earlier switched from the Congress, he says, I hope I will get a ministerial berth now. The Tamil Nadu Assembly passes a bill allowing Tamil Nadu to opt out of the NEET exam. The NEET is now out for Tamil Nadu medical colleges. The Chief Minister says the NEET exam is only for the rich and elite. Maharashtra's Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray holds a high-level meeting on crimes against women. Meanwhile, in the latest shocking cases, a woman is raped. When she goes to complain, police argue over jurisdiction. And the largest women workers factory in the world now in Tamil Nadu, the Ola boss claims that they will now employ over 10,000 women in this factory. This really is our main focus tonight on 8 o'clock. The story of 1 month later, what's happening in Uttar Pradesh's Ferozabad. NDTV's reporters went back for a first-hand report, and there they witnessed, tragically, 3 children dying in front of them, including a 5-year-old girl who's been taken to hospital, but there's no place for her. She dies and her family distraught. This as 16 children have now died in 24 hours in Ferozabad. The big question, a month later, why are we still seeing these heart-rending scenes of parents with children on their shoulders, bringing them in often at a time when it's too late? Saurabh Shukla has this report.
बच जाती मेरी बहन.
Saurabh Shukla joins me now. And Saurabh, first, it's often extremely difficult being a journalist and seeing, in your case, you've seen 3 children die in front of you today. Why is it that nothing has changed even a month after we first started reporting this tragedy?
Absolutely, Sonia. Right where I'm standing, at this point, 2 kids died right in front of me. The way I'm standing, this is the point where you can go to the hospital, and now media is totally barred. And I'm still joined by parents. They are coming here in big numbers, and they are saying that they are not getting beds. If their kids are hospitalized, they are not being looked after well. I'm joined by a parent who's been here from morning. He got his kid admitted, but then too he's saying that he's been not looked after. आपका नाम क्या है?
संतोष कुमार गोस्वामी.
क्या दिक्कत है?
मेरा दिक्कत ये है, मेरा लड़की 4 दिन से भर्ती है और कोई आराम नहीं मिल रहा है उसको, और डॉक्टर साहब कह रहे तुम्हारा लड़की ठीक है, छुट्टी कर देते हैं बार बार. कल भी छुट्टी कर दी है और आज भी छुट्टी कर दी है. बोल रहे दवाई घर पे ले जाइए, आप घर पे दवाई खिलाइए.
चला गया उस लड़की?
नहीं, अभी भी आप चल के देख लीजिए, पूरा शरीर बदन उसका गर्म हो रहा है और माथा में दर्द है, आँख ही लाल हो रही है और बुखार आ रहा है उसको.
अच्छा, you can see, Sonia, the ambulance, and there are children who are waiting here right in front of this pediatric department of this hospital, Ferozabad Medical College, and they are waiting for their dengue reports. You can see a girl, she is 15-year-old, she has fever 103 degree, but the doctors told them that she has to wait outside. It's been 2 hours, she's sitting here, and her parents are struggling to get her admitted. क्या कह रहे हैं डॉक्टर, एडमिट नहीं कर रहे हैं?
नहीं कर रहे, सही है अभी तक, अबे सही है, कोई प्लेट है सही है, घर पर ही सही हो जाएगी।
क्या कोई जांच की है इन्होंने अंदर?
अंदर तो कोई जांच नहीं हुई है, मैं बाहर से जांच करा के लाया।
बाहर से जांच करा के लाए हैं क्योंकि अंदर बहुत वक्त लग जाता है, इसलिए बाहर से जांच करा के लाए हैं।
हाँ।
कभी कितनी बुखार है?
तबीयत खराब है, बता।
हाँ?
इतनी बच्चे की तबीयत खराब कहाँ करवा रहा
कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, एडमिट नहीं हो रहा है।
नहीं करवाया नहीं अभी तक।
सरकार तो कह रही है यहाँ की बेड है, सब कुछ अवेलेबल है, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा। मिल रहा है आपको?
हाँ, कुछ नहीं मिला अभी तक तो।
कुछ नहीं।
कल तक बच्ची बीमार है।
ये कहाँ से, आपका नाम क्या है?
जी मेरा नाम राजकुमार है।
अच्छा, ये कहाँ से क्या हो गया?
अब ये बच्चे को दिखाया
प्लेट है, इसमें प्लेट है, दिखाई है 38,000। ठीक है, बच्ची आंखें नहीं खोल रही है, इन्होंने बोल दिया है कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
डॉक्टर बोल रहे
आप इसको ले जाओ, और कोई
लिया,
दिक्कत लगे 24 घंटों हम बैठते हैं, आप
हम
आ
दिखा
जाओ।
So Sonia Asi,
ये बोल दिया है।
platelet count is 38,000 and doctor said that they cannot admit her, she is okay. And you can see the pain in the eyes of a father who is struggling since afternoon to get his daughter admitted. कितनी तकलीफ है इस बात की आपको?
बहुत तकलीफ है, काफी प्राइवेट डॉक्टरों को दिखाया है, सबने मना कर दिया।
प्राइवेट डॉक्टरों ने मना कर दिया भैया कि घर में वहाँ पे ले जाओ।
प्राइवेट डॉक्टर कह रहे सरकारी
ले जाओ। प्राइवेट जो बैठते हैं बड़े डॉक्टर, जो हमारे फिरोजाबाद के बड़े डॉक्टर हैं, उन्होंने कह दिया है कि भैया इसको क्या ना ट्रामा।
क्या करेंगे अब? यहाँ प्राइवेट में भी एडमिशन नहीं मिला,
उन्होंने मना कर
ऊपर वाले के भरोसे हैं।
तो
So Sonia, this is the ground reality. He has been to several private doctors. They have referred him to government hospital. Now government hospital is not getting admitted. He is saying that now I cannot do anything. I have only depend on Almighty. So Bhagwan bharose.
Absolutely,
His
Saurabh, and that really is heartbreaking to see that platelet report, as you just pointed, the platelet report well below normal. The hospital also presumably struggling with only so many beds. But why is it that in 1 month this hasn't been made top priority? We just bring you that report you sent through the day. It really is tragic. We want to warn our viewers. It's extremely disturbing, but it's also extremely important that we don't turn away from the health crisis currently happening with our children in Uttar Pradesh.
The wails of this mother gut-wrenching as our NDTV crew watched helplessly. 5-year-old Savanya died in front of our eyes at Ferozabad's government hospital. The little girl was brought in critical condition this morning. The doctors said the beds were full. While the desperate family was trying to persuade them, she died on the hospital bed 3 hours later. Not even basic medical treatment was given to her.
9 बजे के आगे बैठा हूँ। 9 बजे का
सुबह 9 बजे आए थे, तो यहाँ क्या हुआ ये बताइए? आपको एडमिट नहीं किया?
नहीं किया एडमिट, ये डॉक्टर साहब की गलती पूरी की पूरी।
As we reported from this hospital, 2 more children died in a matter of hours. Their families running around for assistance, which came too late. 40-year-old Ramtirth carried his 17-year-old sister on his shoulders within the hospital premises. Trying desperately for admission, unable to get a bed, he had no choice but to take her home.
कल के 4 बजे के डले हुए हैं।
अच्छा,
सुनवाई नहीं कर रहे हैं, फाइल मांग रहे हैं, फाइल भी नहीं दे रहे, कहीं अंत कहीं ले जाए तो उसको दिखा दे।
45-year-old Bhola is taking his 11-year-old daughter home. Her blood samples have been sent for investigation. The hospital has said, till the report comes, she won't be admitted despite the fact she has high fever.
वो रिपोर्ट मिलेगी शाम को
रिपोर्ट मिलेगी।
जब उसका इलाज होगा
तब इलाज होगा।
हाँ।
बोला रिपोर्ट नहीं मिल रही तो इलाज नहीं करेंगे।
नहीं हो रहा तो क्या करूँ फिर? अब मैं घर ले जा रहा हूँ, 3 दिन हो गए आज।
More than 20 to 25 children are lying right in front of the pediatric ward of Ferozabad's Medical College, waiting for their dengue test reports. The principal of Ferozabad Medical College, Sangeeta Aneja, says that there are doctors and infrastructure available. People are panicking, hence the hustle outside the hospital.
हमारे पास 2 पेशेंट्स ब्रॉड डेड आए थे और एक पेशेंट आप बता रहे हैं तो उसका एकदम से हुआ था। पेशेंट्स का एडमिशन हो रहा है, किसी को मना नहीं किया जा रहा है। हमारा कियोस्क का स्थिति अगर होगा तो हमारा नॉर्मल पेशेंट बीच में कहेगा हमें ले लो, तो हम सिक पेशेंट को नहीं देख पाएंगे।
3 kids died right in front of us today. Despite several efforts from the administration, things are going back to worse here in Ferozabad. kids like him are waiting from last 24 hours for their dengue report. In Ferozabad, with Ashok Mahale, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
And the Health Secretary has written to states and union territories saying that there must be strict action taken in these cases. But as we can see, their children waiting for 3 days sent back, parents carrying their children on their shoulders and being forced to go back. So we don't even know how many deaths are being reported from outside hospitals, as the Health Secretary is saying hospitals may be alerted for contingency plan. It's too late, as we see, with children dying. Meanwhile, what's happening in Uttar Pradesh? What is the Chief Minister there focused on? Well, much controversy over his statements on Abba Jaan, that only people who say Abba Jaan, a clear reference to the Muslim community, used to get rations before 2017 when the Akhilesh Yadav government was in power. But the Chief Minister needs to shift focus to children dying and leave aside communal politics.
राशन मिल रहा होगा ना आप लोगों को? राशन मिल रहा है राशन। क्या ये राशन 2017 के पहले भी मिलता था? क्योंकि तब तो अब्बा जान कहने वाले राशन हजम कर जाते थे।
This is very amazing कि how the Chief Minister of such a large state like Uttar Pradesh uses the language like this, and we are not surprised because previously also Yogi Adityanath ji has taken such type of languages. I think now they are trying to polarizing the issues. They don't want to discuss about the unemployment, don't want to discuss about the inflation rate of the country.
And most importantly, no one's discussing children dying. Meanwhile, let's just look at the latest COVID numbers. Well, the good news is we're at just over 27,000 cases. So that's the weekly average is down from last week. However, testing is also down. Deaths in the last 24 hours are down by 35%. Deaths in the last 24 hours also down by 21%. The positivity rate is up, though it's less than 3% for the last 2 weeks. But we've crossed an important vaccination milestone. Let's just look at those details. India's crossed the 75 crore doses mark. The government tweeted with that picture. And if you look at the details, on Sunday, we saw 189% more doses than earlier Sunday. So a clear acceleration of India's vaccination program there, which is good news. So we can see there the average daily vaccinations now over 70 lakhs.
कोविड महामारी से लड़ाई में जहां एक और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत ने एक नहीं दो वैक्सीनेशन का निर्माण भारत में किया, वहीं पर करोड़ों भारतीयों को मुफ्त में वैक्सीन लगाने के लिए भी मुफ्त में वैक्सीन भी उपलब्ध करवाई और 75 करोड़ वैक्सीन लगना अपने आप में एक बड़ी उपलब्धि है, जिसके लिए मैं जनता का आभार प्रकट करता हूं, कोविड वॉरियर्स का आभार प्रकट करता हूं, राज्य की सरकारों का और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का आभार प्रकट करता हूं, जिन्होंने मुफ्त में एक और वैक्सीन उपलब्ध कराई।
Well, moving to the other big headline, well, the centre today telling the Supreme Court they will not file an affidavit on the Pegasus phone hacking scandal, saying it's a national security issue. This comes despite the centre having asked for time in 2 hearings to file a detailed affidavit. The Chief Justice told the Solicitor General, Mr. Mehta, don't beat about the bush. We don't want to hamper national security either, but this is an issue of right to privacy.
Today, the centre told Supreme Court that it cannot file an affidavit on the Pegasus phone tapping scandal as it is a matter of national security. This is a U-turn from the government's earlier stance where it kept seeking time to file an affidavit.
The centre, which avoided a debate in Parliament on the Pegasus controversy by calling it a non-serious issue, was told by the Chief Justice, "We don't want to hamper national security either. The issue of concern is whether the phones of individuals were hacked and their right to privacy." The centre said we can't make it a public discourse and can't let terrorists know which software was used. If individual phones were attacked, then that is also serious. The committee can look into it. The Chief Justice of India said, the government says they will form a committee. It is a different matter if we will accept it or not. Everybody wants an inquiry or some sort of investigation. The development comes despite the fact that the government sought time to file an affidavit twice earlier on the 17th of August and 9th of September.
A batch of petitions, including those filed by the Editors Guild of India and other senior journalists who want a court-monitored probe, says, "We also don't want national security to be compromised. We want the government to answer whether it used Pegasus or not. The spyware is illegal."
The CJI today strongly told Solicitor General Tushar Mehta that beating about the bush is not going to solve the issue, and pointed out that even if a court-appointed committee submits its report, it will eventually come out in the public domain. To that, the SG replied that the decision on revealing the details then would be entirely up to the Supreme Court. In New Delhi, with camera person Pooja Arya, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.
In other news, Bhupendra Patel, a first-time MLA, was sworn in as Gujarat's new Chief Minister today, with Home Minister Amit Shah and key BJP Chief Ministers also in attendance. So, of course, the big question is, every BJP Chief Minister must now be on tenterhooks.
ભૂપેન્દ્રભાઈ રજનીકાંત પટેલ ગુજરાત રાજ્યના મુખ્યમંત્રી.
Gujarat's surprise Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel taking oath under the keen eye of Home Minister Amit Shah. 3 other BJP Chief Ministers, Haryana's ML Khattar, Madhya Pradesh's Shivraj Chauhan and Goa's Pramod Sawant, attended his swearing in. Soon after, the Chief Minister was at the Secretariat in Gandhinagar to take charge. Patel is the first Kadwa Patel Chief Minister, a community which forms around 12% of the population. This choice, the BJP hopes, will help it improve its performance in North Gujarat, where the Congress is banking on Hardik Patel to deliver.
आपको मैं बताऊं, बीजेपी 40 क्रॉस नहीं करेगी और कांग्रेस डबल डिजिट में यहाँ पे नहीं होगी. 1 से 10 सीट कांग्रेस की नहीं आएगी. 120 सीट से ज्यादा आम आदमी पार्टी 2022 में लेकर आएगी.
In today's swearing in ceremony, only Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel was sworn in. The contentious task of choosing a new cabinet and council of ministers, the BJP says, will be completed in a couple of days. And for that purpose, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is in Gujarat to hold a series of meetings.
All eyes in particular on this man, Deputy CM Nitin Patel, one of the contenders for the post, who lost out for the second time. Patel became emotional as he spoke to the media, saying he still had a place in the hearts of the people.
मैं 18 साल था उम्र का था, तब से जनसंघ से लेके आज दिन तक बीजेपी का कार्यकर हूँ और रहूंगा. कोई स्थान या कोई जगह मिले कि न मिले वो बड़ी बात नहीं है. लोगों का स्नेह, प्रेम और सम्मान वही बड़ी बात है.
In the new CM's constituency, however, posters of celebration. While many have questioned how a first-time MLA was made CM, here they defended his record.
गुजरात की अन्य जाति में भी उनका बहुत ही अच्छा प्रभुत्व है. उनको यहाँ गुजरात में सब लोग दादा के उलामने नाम से जानते हैं. तो इस तरह पब्लिक में भी लोकप्रिय है.
For the BJP, this is kickoff for 2022. The party knows to register an emphatic win, it needs to win over all sections of the influential Patel community in Gujarat. That did not happen in 2017, and the Congress put up a strong fight, which is why this time around, with this decision, the party hopes that it's moving towards an emphatic win in 2022. In Gandhinagar, with camera person Rajendra Dhayalkar, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Well, in a politically explosive statement, a Karnataka BJP MLA who had switched earlier from the Congress today said that he was offered money to join the BJP, that he didn't take money, he took a ministerial berth instead. And now he said, though he's been dropped, he hopes he becomes a minister again. The Congress has said this proves that they've always been saying an Operation Lotus, though the MLA has now backtracked from his statement.
ಒಂದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಲ್ಲದ ನಾ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಪಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡಿ ನನಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಬೇಕಂತ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾ ದುಡ್ಡು ಒಂದು ಪೈಸೆ ಕೈ ಹಚ್ಚಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಒಂದು ಚಲೋ ಸ್ಥಾನಮಾನ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ನಾವು ಚಂದ ನಡೆಸಿ ಜನರ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ತಿಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಏನು ಕಾರಣಲೇ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಥಾನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಅವ್ರು ಭರವಸೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಈಗೇನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್ ಅದ ಮುಂದಿನ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಭವಿष्य ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರೆ.
साफ तरीके से कही कि मुझको पैसे का ऑफर दिया था और आज बोल रहे नहीं दिए, तो कौन सच बोल रहा है? कोई ज़बरदस्ती तो बुलवा नहीं रहा है ना. तो उनसे पूछिए क्या हुआ है. क्या हम तो पहले से बोल रहे हैं कि सिर्फ उनका नहीं, पूरे जो 18-20 लोग गए हैं जेडीएस से हो या कांग्रेस से हो, उनको या तो मंत्री पद के ये बेनिफिशियरी बनाया या तो पैसे दिए.
So an actual admission of horse trading right there on camera. Meanwhile, the Tamil Nadu Assembly today passed a bill to scrap the All India National Eligibility Entrance Exam or NEET for admission to medical colleges in Tamil Nadu. This because the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister cited a report by a retired judge which said that NEET was anti-poor and only for the rich and elite.
மருத்துவக் கல்வி படிப்புக்கான சேர்க்கையின இந்திய அரசியலமைப்பின் 7வது அட்டவணையின் 3வது பட்டியலில் 25வது உள்ளீட்டில் காணலாம். எனவே மாநில அரசானது அதை முறைப்படுத்த தகுதியுடையது. இந்த நீட் தேர்வு விவகாரத்திலும் அனைத்து கட்சிகளின் சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர்களும் முழு ஒத்துழைப்பினை நல்கி சமூக நீதி வரலாறு படைத்திட துணை நிற்க வேண்டும் என்று நான் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
Well, in other news, the Maharashtra Chief Minister today held a high-level meeting on the recent rise of cases of crimes and rapes against women. In another shocking case in Maharashtra, a 15-year-old was raped in a railway accommodation. Yet, after that, 2 police stations didn't file a case because they were arguing over the jurisdiction where the woman was raped. The Chief Minister has asked the state police to be extremely careful and sensitive when dealing with cases and crimes against women.